This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, and welcome to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham, I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham, I'm the therapist.
And we are back for our Sister Wives Rewind. We are currently on Season 6, Episode 14, Polygamist Flash Mob.
Ooh.
And this is the episode where Aspyn and Leon graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
And yes, it is exciting. And so the moms want to plan a graduation party. And the first thing that Aspyn and Leon say is there's going to be no dancing.
So the parents are like, oh, we got to dance.
Yeah. Then they're really going to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And because Aspyn and Leon are like, no, our friends are going to be there. Like, no dancing. So they just kind of go, okay, whatever. They have a plan. They have a plan to get the dancing in anyway.
Yes.
And one thing, I think Robin suggested this. She suggested having like a palm reader or a fortune teller, which turned out to be a good get.
But I will say, and that was really interesting, but the woman, they kept calling her fortune teller or like she's a mystic, psychic. It's like she's doing tarot cards. Like, yeah, that is not so mystical. I mean, my friend Abby, she knows how to read tarot cards. She's been doing this forever. And she's taught me some things as we've gone along. And like the way in which you do with tarot cards, you read a lot about it. You really learn what the cards are, but you also, so much of it is the interpretation of the person doing it, right? Because Abby was always like, well, what do you see in this card? What is this card showing you? And so it's the combination of, I mean, you do it a lot, so you get better and better at it, but there isn't something mystical about it. I mean, the mystical part is sort of about the cards that you choose, but
which is random.
Which is random, but at the same time, I do think that energetically, right. I mean, she was right on about a lot of stuff.
Well, but she called herself Mystical Mona.
Oh, she did? Okay. I just felt like they were making her out to be some kind of like sideshow mystic. And it's like, well, no, she's got skills.
No, I think they obviously, thought it, I don't know.
Anyway. Justice for mystical.
Yeah.
Whatever, Mona.
Mystical Mona. She tried.
Yes. No, she did well.
I thought job.
Her predictions were good.
Well, she did predict that Kody was going to get married again, which didn't come true, but.
Yes, there was that, but I wonder if what that meant was a lot of, I mean, I guess I wonder if that was more of he's having like a new kind of relationship with Robin.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's been talked about a lot. Like once they moved into those houses, he was over there all the time and it was like a sexual reawakening and I don't know. But she was right on about the other things.
So, the kids say, and I think Christine agrees that, the moms are kind of living vicariously through their daughters. Christine says that she was in high school a loser, a loner, had no friends.
Oh, no.
Didn't go to any graduation parties. And it's just like, gosh, that's harsh.
Yeah. She's like, my friends went off to parties and I went home, and I'm like, well, why wouldn't you go with your friends?
Yeah.
Like, what? They're not very good friends if they're not inviting you too. You all just graduated.
Well, maybe she wasn't allowed to go because of the religious stuff, her dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're negotiating over, like the moms want to have a slideshow, and the kids are like, no, a few pictures, maybe that might be okay, but they're negotiating what's going to happen. And Aspyn accidentally swears, when Isabel is in the room, and Christine's like, oh, you can't do that. And then there's this scene where Kody says that his kids are potty mouths, and they swear to ruffle my feathers. And of course, Kody has to bring everything back to him, make everything about him. It's like, no, they swear because they're teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenagers swear. They're not thinking about you, Kody.
Yeah, essentially.
So we then have to revisit the issue of Leon and Westminster College.
Oh, God.
And the finances and the loans and whatever. So Dr. Guido is back.
Oh, yes.
Now he's like a high school counselor type at the high school. And Kody says he specializes in how to get kids into college for less money. Just a weird description. And he says he feels like an ambush is coming because Dr. Guido is pro student loans and Cody's anti-student loans. Again, this is all about you, Kody. It's all about you. Yeah, so Kody does not want Leon to be in debt, and Dr. Guido tries to flip it around and say that, Leon has this dream of being a doctor, and it's going to require all these years of schooling, and Leon shouldn't have to worry about money, and that loans are not so evil. They're low interest loans. And he does say that, parents sometimes will have to co-sign for some of the loans. And he says, just, fill out the applications. It's not set in stone. You don't have to do it, but there are deadlines,
Yes.
To have to do these things. And I thought it was funny because, Dr. Guido made this comparison. He was kind of trying to say, well, don't worry so much about the money. He said, you guys had a dream of owning all these houses, and you made it happen somehow.
Yeah, and you took out loans.
And you took exactly. What do you think this thing called a mortgage is? Yes, you have 4 big loans, and that's okay. But for Leon to take out loans to become a doctor and have high income earning potential is not okay.
I mean, what does Leon do now? Do we have any idea of what happened? What direction they went in?
I think they went into like creative writing. I'm pretty sure because they went after Westminster College. They went to, I think, University of Chicago, and I think something in creative writing, which I'm not really sure.
Okay,
but that rings a bell to me. So I guess Dr. Guido got Kody to lighten up about this. Yeah. And the moms agreed. Like, this is again, most kids who go to college have to take out some kind of loans.
Yeah. The other thing too is, obviously Leon's not a doctor now, but if my kid was, and usually people who want to be doctors know that very early and they don't change. It's kind of interesting that Leon decided to change midstream, but usually, right, if I had a kid that was destined to be a doctor, I would be kind of like, okay, take out the loans. Like, I know that you're going to make enough money to pay it back.
Right.
And you'll get there, and you're going to have to take out so many loans anyway. Dr. Guido's right that like the interest rate's very low. It's, you can pay less if you're not making a lot of money. But I also, I'm with Kody because I don't know what the loans are that Leon left with, but easily Leon's going to leave with, it's $100,000 education. So they're definitely
that's
leaving
just for undergrad.
They're going to, that's a lot of loans, even if they got part of it paid for.
Yeah.
60,000, 70,000, that's a lot to pay back.
I know it is. And I know a lot of people who, took out loans to go to law school or
oh gosh, yeah,
medical school, graduate school, and they're still paying them.
Yeah. The law school one, I cannot tell you how many clients I've had that, right, because you can't work. You work during it because you were in a different kind of program. But like most people who do the 3-year program, you can't work at all. And so people are taking out loans for the education plus the cost of living for 3 years. You're not earning anything. It's all going out. And then they get these jobs at these, big law firms where their starting salary is, $175 or something, but they're they're locked in because there's no way to pay off the loans if they don't work at these big giant
that's
companies.
Before taxes. And if you're young, you don't have any tax deductions, you're taking home half of that.
Plus rent and it's a fortune to live around here and all those things. So you don't really have a ton extra, but they can't ever leave because they're so locked in.
Yeah. You can't just decide, I hate doing this job where I have to bill 3,000 hours a year and I want to go work at legal aid. It's like, well, that's not even going to cover your rent and your loan payment.
Yeah. Well, and then you have to stay. I have one client she's trying to piece together all of the nonprofits she's worked at so she can hit the 10 years so that she can get loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it means she's had to work somewhere. She's not like, it's okay, but it's, and she's kind of beholden to them for the next 2 years. She doesn't want to lose the job.
Yeah.
So,
well, isn't the rule of thumb, I don't know if it's so much for the high wage jobs, but the rule of thumb is you shouldn't take out more loans than your first year's salary, like what you'd be able to make in your first year out of school in your field. But if you're a lawyer, even though you're making a lot, I don't know, somehow that math doesn't work.
Well, and of course, the big problem is, and we see this with Leon, is kids start school. They think they want to do one thing. Like, I'm going to be a lawyer and I'm going to make $200,000 a year so I can take out $200,000 worth of loans. And then midway through, you're like, I want to write. I want to paint.
Yeah. I want to teach, abroad or something.
Yeah. So, okay, now the salary's changed, right? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's really, really, I think it's very, very tricky because
it's super tricky. And a lot of kids start college, take out a bunch of loans and then don't finish.
Yeah. Oh,
then
God,
you not only have the loans, but then you have to, you don't have the degree.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that I've seen people who've gotten really mad about that. They're like, God damn it, I took out all these loans and I didn't even finish and I have nothing to show for it. And it's a little bit like, well, that was on you.
Right. Then go back and finish.
Yeah, you didn't finish. Yeah. So don't blame other people, please. But it is. It is really, really hard if you're, especially kids who really don't have any help from their parents. They take out these loans, they start school, then they get underwater with cost of living and all of it, trying to work, trying to go to school. And then they, drop out and then they're living at home, but now all the loans are due.
Yeah.
And
and the cost of education is so extraordinary. It's really going in the wrong direction. It needs a major overhaul. And some people question even if, if it's even required for a lot of things or if it's even valuable for a lot of things.
Or that it's fair. It's inherently, you're already getting into this inherently unfair system, right? Where in order to work a certain kind of job, in order to make a certain kind of money, doesn't mean you can't make money without a college degree, but there is, to do certain things like doctor, lawyer, blah, 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 you have to go to college, but you're already setting it up where people are behind because they don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's a big problem. It's a crisis.
Yes.
Frankly.
University tuition since the 1970s has gone up by 300%.
Yeah.
So once upon a time, your parents they didn't have to take out loans. You didn't take out loans. Your parents could, pretty much a lot of jobs could just give you the money, or you could earn the money, or you could do it that way. And people didn't leave school umpteen years ago with tons of loans. I don't think our parents left with any loans, and they worked very hard for us to not leave. You know, we got our educations paid for us. And that's it wasn't until I was an adult that I really realized, like, God, that is a gift. I mean, at 22, I had everything I needed to get set up for success. So if I couldn't figure it out, that was on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. My daughter's getting really sick of school, but I remind her that, we've come too far.
Yeah.
You only have like a year left. Like, please, just stop complaining. Just finish.
Yeah.
It's because it is now, and I have to say this, it is much harder to be a college student now. The requirements have increased. The number of classes you have to take, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, if you don't come into school knowing exactly what you're going to major in day one, you're already behind.
Yeah.
I fucked around for 2 years, randomly took classes, then sort of started getting it together, and somehow miraculously graduated in 4 years. I did go to summer school, 2 summers, but what I've seen from my daughter and her friends is that it's harder to get these classes.
Or impacted.
It's impacted. Yeah. There's more requirements than there used to be. It's just a lot. So just graduating, just getting through that process has become a lot harder. And these schools, these state schools, they're huge, Yeah. You're not getting a lot of, personal help or attention.
Oh God, no. And even if you go to an expensive school, you're not getting a lot of help. I mean, it's got nothing to do with that. And I doubt if these small liberal arts colleges, if they're getting a lot of help. There's so little help. And I mean, the problem is that these universities, they became kind of like corporations, and what's happened with corporations where we have CEOs making 4,000 times what their workers made when 30, 40 years ago, they were making 10 times or even 100 times, which is a lot more, right? So what's happening now is these presidents, these admins, the people at the tippy top, this small percentage of people, they're making millions of dollars a year for being a college president or being this or being that. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a big job, but you should make $5 million or you should have all these bonuses. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And they're making all the money.
And the professors struggle to even live in the communities where they teach. And
they give the professors nothing. They're not making tons of money.
And it's the professors are really kind of phoning it in at this point because it's kind of the quiet quitting. The university professors are doing the same thing. Yeah. Especially at these big schools.
Because they're not providing them with anything. I mean, and it's like you can kind of sort of piecemeal it. A lot of them are piecemealing jobs, and then they're coming to them going, hey, teach this class. We're going to give you $3,000 to teach this class for the next 4 months. And you have to do everything and all of that. That's what they're doing. They're just throwing money or, someone's TA or whatever it is. And there's no money for mental health, which is what is desperately needed. There's no money for career planning, anything. There's nothing.
Yeah. The recent strike that the California State, professors had, that one of their top demands was more mental health care for students.
Because they become their counselors.
Exactly. Because it's so impacting them because these kids have so many issues and they're coming to them and they're not professional counselors.
Yeah. Anyway, they don't have the time. But anyway, that's another problem we've got to solve.
Yeah. Put that on the list of problems.
On the list of things
to solve.
Prison reform, number 1. Number 2, education crisis. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's graduation day.
Yes. It's a happy day.
It's a happy day for Aspyn and Leon. And excuse me, Aspyn tells us how she really needs to get out of the house.
Poor Aspyn.
I know. And God, Christine even admits that Aspyn pretty much runs this house. And Christine is quite worried.
Yes.
About what is going to happen when she leaves.
Because you know who's next? McKelty.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, shit.
She said one day she left McKelty and
Payton
in charge when she and Aspyn went shopping, and she came home and it was just chaos. So things are going to change. And yeah, Aspyn said, I pretty much do everything. And I think she's a little worried too.
Yeah.
Leon says that they're sad about leaving and says they're worried about
Meri.
She's worried about Meri, basically.
Yeah.
Being alone.
In their codependent relationship.
Yeah. She says, I hope she's okay without me.
Yeah. Leon cares more about Meri than Kody does.
Yes.
Leon is thinking, Leon is 18 years old, and concerned, sees a problem and feels bad.
Yeah. And cut to Meri, who's, she's thinking about being alone. She gives Leon a necklace as a gift, and they're both crying. And I'm worried about this too. I thought I was bad. I thought I was an emotional wreck. I think I kept it together on graduation day.
Yeah.
So we're back at the UNLV Thomas and Mack Center. And Mary's super stressed about their seats.
Yeah. Logan was there. I always love my Logan sightings.
I know.
Like, ooh, Logan's here.
Yeah. And I think Logan, I saw him around Janelle's house. It must have been, maybe he was already on summer break, or maybe that was at the end of the summer when Leon was getting ready to go to school. I don't know. Anyway, he's still around. Mary's really stressed out that where they're sitting, she doesn't think she's going to be able to see Leon come in and walk on stage. And she has a full meltdown.
Yeah. Which, again, I can understand if I was there, if I was one of the kids or whatever, I can understand like seeing this and being like, Jesus Christ, like what is the problem? But it is a big deal to her. I mean,
it is.
This is her only child. And this is, she's already emotionally heightened. Yeah. She's already like at the end of her rope. And the way Kody treated her, I thought was so mean.
He was like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
This is fine. Where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know. She's just distressed. I mean, she's very distressed, and he has no empathy towards her. And even Robin takes him aside and he's like, she always does this to me, and then she gets you involved. And even Robin was saying, look, this is her only child. This is important to her. Just, be nice to her. And
well, and also he said she's manipulative. Like this manipulative stuff that she does where she has a meltdown and then we all have to do what she says and blah, blah, blah. And listen, maybe this is a pattern for Meri. Maybe she does do this kind of stuff. But in this moment in time, this isn't the hill to die on, Kody. Yeah, like this isn't the time to have an issue with it. Like stop and recognize like, it's an important one for her. Yeah. So just let her have it. So basically she just picks up her stuff and is like, I'm going. I'm going to go find better spots. And they do. Apparently they're 20 times better in the end.
Everyone moved. Nobody missed anything. The seats were good. And Kody was digging in. He did not want to move.
Well, the other thing too is it's like, Kody, you're acting like you're there alone with 17 kids, or like, oh God, we're already situated here. It's like, what are you doing? You've got the wives there. They're taking care of their kids. They're doing all this kind of stuff. Like all you have to do is stand up and walk. That's it. No one's asking you to lug anything or do anything. Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages. Hey there, it's Tess Brigham, the therapist half of Psych Legal Pop. In addition to being a therapist, I'm also a coach, speaker, and author. And if you go to my website, you'll find courses, ebooks, and worksheets for sale. If you're feeling a bit lost, overwhelmed by life's twists and turns, or you're just simply stuck, I've got you covered. Head over to my website, www.tessbrigham.com, for courses, ebooks, and worksheets tailored to help you unlock your true potential. From relationship struggles to career transitions, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. So stop looking outside of yourself at friends, family, social media for the answers. The answers to all your questions are inside of you. My products and services are the first step in uncovering your true you.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax days year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, so the graduation happens. All is good.
Yes.
They're graduated.
They go across the stage. Aspyn doesn't fall.
Yeah, nobody falls.
That was her big worry.
Yeah, it's all good. So this, I believe, is when randomly, I don't know if this is the next day or later the same day, I'm not really sure, Kody goes over to Meri's house and he's tired. And he lies down on the couch.
Somebody's tired.
He wants to take a rest.
Is this the one where he's lying on the banker couch from Colleen's consignment?
Yes, the bankruptcy lawyer waiting room couch.
Mm-hmm.
And so Meri says, well, it's time we have to tell Leon about the baby decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go into Meri's room and they're all sitting on the bed and, oh God, been through this so many times. So, they cut to Meri saying something like she didn't want to do it just to fill the void of Leon being gone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really true. That Kody shut this down already.
Mm-hmm.
Meri was still willing to try. And I forget how all this goes, but it didn't really go great.
Well, Leon took it better than I remember. I feel like I remember Leon really breaking down, but maybe that's another time that the baby thing has come up. Maybe that's in the past and we've already seen it. But they took it very well. Like, basically, I figured as much. Like, I knew this is what was going to happen and it's okay. And,
yeah,
it's fine.
After Leon leaves, Kody cites, all the issues, including age. Of course, his age doesn't seem to be a problem, but he goes on to have another baby, and he says that he wishes they would have tried this 10 to 15 years ago.
You couldn't afford it.
You couldn't afford it.
You can't afford it now.
Can't afford it now.
You couldn't afford it back then. And I wonder, their religion, I guess, doesn't
have a problem with it.
Doesn't have a problem because there is some sort of religious piece of this. Right? Do you think that maybe they had a different opinion about it back then?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe as time went on, maybe it became more acceptable.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole thing is just sad. Meri's life is it's just not good right now.
Yeah.
And
it isn't.
I'm really feeling for her. Okay, so then we have Christine saying now they're prepping for the party. And I don't know the timing of the graduation party and the graduation. It's because it seems like you'd have the party right after or maybe the day after. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Christine's talking about how, they love to dance. The Brown adults love to dance, except for Janelle. But the kids are really embarrassed by it. They're going to do like a side door thing where they're going to do a flash mob.
Mm-hmm.
Janelle refuses.
Yes.
She says, I refuse to participate in this. So Christine comes up with, some dance moves. And of course, Kody complains he doesn't like the effeminate moves.
Yes,
and,
of course.
Of course, he's very concerned. Doesn't want to be seen as effeminate. And I don't know, the I forget what happens after that. I think
they just practice.
They practice a little bit.
And then they do this whole thing of free, like, okay. And then Christine says, okay, and then now we're going to free dance. So everyone free dance. And then everyone was quote unquote free dancing. And Kody was doing this move of like, I can't explain it, but it was like as if he was pretending to be a woman.
Yeah. You just said you didn't want to do that.
You wanted to be a man, you know?
He says, so it's hard for me to do these effeminate dance moves and then try to dance like a man.
Yeah. But I don't know. God, who cares? I wonder how much he talks about this when the cameras aren't around, or if this is all just for the cameras.
I don't know. I think he just feels uncomfortable, and so he just says these dumb things. But anyway, it looks like a very nice party. They had lots of food, and they had a frozen yogurt machine.
Oh, they did? Oh, I missed that. Oh.
Yeah.
Did someone own that, or they rented that?
I think they rented it and brought it in. It was, not too big, but yeah, they had frozen yogurt. They had tons of cupcakes and decorations. So very, very nice party. And then we have Mystic Mona, who is, reading her tarot cards. And Aspyn takes a turn, and Mona says that she has to let go of some friendships. And she gets what's called a past life card, and that she's going to find love after she finds her career. And I'm not sure that really happened.
Really?
Did she get married pretty young?
So what does Aspyn do now? Do we know what her career is?
She works in the jewelry store at Kendra Scott. I think she's the manager of a Kendra Scott store. But I thought I remember when she was in high school, I thought her saying she wanted to go to school to be a teacher.
Yeah. And then in another episode, she talks about like wanting to get married and have kids. I think for a while, one of her goals was to, marry a rich man and, be a wife and a mother. But I thought that she married Mitch a bit later, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, it was not that long. Okay, so Madison and McKelty, who are also the same age, they got married back to back, and they were only 18-ish, maybe almost 19. And they gave McKelty such a hard time about being not ready and too young and whatever. She was the same age as Maddie. But see, they liked, Caleb more than Tony. And then I think Aspyn got married just maybe a couple of years after that at the most.
Well, and then there's some illusion. So fascinating how she has no kids. Like after all, being like, she very much wanted to be a mom. She talked about it a lot. And like, here she is never having kids. Well, I mean, she may eventually, but I don't know. But like really like trying to enjoy her life, which she deserves. She's worked very hard to get here. She
said on Tony and McKelty's Patreon that she went to go like freeze her eggs. And when they tried to retrieve it, they said that she had like they couldn't retrieve any eggs. They said it was like a low something. And so she might not be able to have like biological kids, or at least like without intervention. So
that makes me sad. I mean, what is, whomever her child is supposed to be, that child will show up. But that is, that's hard after everything she's been through.
And then Leon's cards, Mona says that they need to stop second guessing themselves, and says that they're not going to meet the man they will marry until age 24. And he's going to be mean, a lot like your dad.
No, there's going to be a man before the man that they marry. The mean man.
Mean man first.
Like her dad.
So, but then at 24, they'll meet. Whatever. I don't think that panned out.
Well, wait a minute. When did Leon meet Audrey? Is it Audrey? No.
Yeah. I think I remember they moved to Chicago together. So it must have been like before. Maybe they met in college.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what they were feeling, a masculine energy or something. I don't know. Okay, maybe Mona didn't hit it out of the park as much as I thought she did. Okay, keep going.
I think she was about 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they do the flash mob, which was cute, and
all the kids liked it.
All the kids liked it,
Yeah.
and Kody could tell that, and he said that he thought every teen there thinks, "Wow, that's a cool family," and it's like, okay, Kody, don't take it too far.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so then we're back to Mona. Christine, she tells Christine, "You were surrounded by people, but you're very lonely."
I thought that was very
true.
right on. I was like, that's true. And also, they did admit that Leon does second guess themselves. So that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. She says to Kody, "You have been like a victim this last year, but things can change." Meaning, you can change, Kody. Get your shit together. She tells Meri, "You're all into this life and you will inspire your family, but there will be some health burdens with the kids."
Yeah. Well, and then Truly's thing happens.
Yeah.
And then Isabel.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So I thought that, and I feel like, didn't Mona say something to Christine about love and like, you're going to find not, I mean, I think that she wasn't saying you're going to divorce Kody and meet another David Woolley Brown, but she did
10 years.
Yeah. She did allude to something like there is something more for her. Like there's something, something you want, some life. I feel like she said something like that out there for you that you haven't gotten to. I thought that was very right on. But,
and then when Janelle sits down, she says that Janelle is coming up in Meri's cards.
Oh.
I didn't quite understand what that meant. I don't think anyone really understood.
Yeah.
Janelle was just sort of staring at her like, what?
Yeah.
And then she tells Robin, "Blessings of the universe are falling on you." And then Robin says, "Yeah, I've always been very blessed because when I was a single mom and I had to do everything and I had to, take care of myself, I always paid my bills and I always saved my money. I would save as much money." Just like, I don't think that's really what she was talking about, but
I think she was just saying you're a lucky person.
Yeah.
You've been able to, and she has, listen, she's been able to not work for 20 years.
And also, why did Robin's mind go straight to money when she heard blessings?
Yeah.
And then
because Mona did bring up money. She brought up the fact that Robin thinks about money a lot and worries about money and wants money and so I think she attributes that to her being single days. But maybe it's like now. Maybe there's some stuff with money now.
Maybe,
I don't know. Anyway.
And then she tells Kody that he's going to have another wife and there may be someone who's already interested. And,
which could be true. I mean, there could be someone in the shadows or someone that he's interested in. I took that as, listen, either Mona's way off or I think that's Robin. I think that's what Robin represents is this new wife, the one wife.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's always good to have a tarot card reader or palm reader at your party. We had one for Brooke's baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
We had a palm reader. She was great.
Reader. Yeah.
Lots of fun. If I ever been in my house for almost 10 years, so maybe next year we'll throw a 10-year housewarming
party.
I love it because I think that it's fun, even if you don't necessarily believe, you don't have to do it, but it is like, it's good to have some activities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might look into that ice cream, that
like frozen yogurt.
A frozen yogurt machine too. God, you can get a bunch of toppings to go,
Yeah.
Be a little regular TC
bar.
Yeah. What is that place? TCBY? TBCY? Anyway.
This country's best yogurt. TCBY. Okay.
Yeah.
So then McKelty gives Aspyn a blanket she made for her.
Oh.
And Leon gets the picture blanket and a scrapbook from Meri. And
did you
end?
Yeah, but did you hear Maddie's comment? She said, "Oh yeah, Meri always goes Meri always goes over the top for these things."
Yeah,
but that's how it's always been.
Yeah, and she likes to do the crafty stuff, and
yeah. But again, She has one kid. So,
yeah.
And it's a little different. God, it must be so weird to be Leon, to be in this huge family, but at the same time, you're like an only child, but you're also part of many siblings, and just the dynamic of all of that. Again, I don't know. I mean, that's that thing, right? If you look at each of the Brown kids, like, life isn't fair. Like, is it Aspyn and the older kids got the whole family, the big family together in that life, but they really were in charge of the kids, as opposed to the younger kids who maybe didn't get that life, but they didn't have to raise other children.
Right.
Right. And some got to be in this big family. It's like, you just, no matter what happens, you're going to leave childhood with some things that weren't fair.
Oh yeah. Nobody's childhood is perfect. Nobody leaves here unscathed.
Yeah. Thank God.
To varying degrees.
Yes.
All right. Well,
is that the end of the episode? Was that it? Oh, okay.
That's the end of episode.
Yeah, I guess the party was the end of that and the
14.
flash mob thing. There was a lot of time and energy put onto that goddamn flash mob. And it was funny and it was cute, but I didn't think it needed to be the center of everything.
Yeah.
It felt like there was a lot of time and energy put into it.
Yeah, but I think it helped the party. And then some of the kids got in and joined in on the flash mob too. And again, it's just one of those things, like, if you're having a party that's like mixed generations and mixed people, you kind of have to have these kind of goofy things too.
Yeah.
Bring
but I felt
together.
bad too, because I saw Aspyn was cooking for the party.
Oh, jeez.
At one point, right? She had an apron on. She had an apron on, and she and Christine were in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like, God, you don't get a moment, do you?
No, she doesn't get a moment rest.
Oh, Aspyn.
So, yeah, I think, let's see, there's a couple more episodes until, well, the next episode is when the wives go to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is with
Truly.
With Truly.
Yeah. So. And that was really emotional and hard for Aspyn.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, getting into some good episodes here. So I hope you continue to join us on Tuesday for Sister Wives Rewind, and on Thursdays for our, whatever documentary, true crime, whatever thing we're working on. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe to the podcast, and also leave us a 5-star review, and share this podcast with someone who you think might like it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also find us on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's it.
All right, everybody.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.